Coming up with the next video, talking about continuation of my top 5 artists, breaking down a little bit more in depth, more maybe talk about some couple songs that I like, and maybe talk about even some of the albums I like. And this week, gonna be about Trip Lee. Tune in for more. Hey, let's break bread fresh from the oven. As you can see, I'm a little bit warmer out outside, freezing myself. But as I was enjoying the sunshine and things like that, man, what I want to talk about today is just continue on breaking down even deeper and more in depth. Probably a little shorter video, but just more in depth in the next couple of Fridays, probably 5 Fridays or so. Like a 5-part video series of me breaking down more in depth on why I really like the top 5 artists that I got, and breaking down like some of the songs that really got me into it, or talking about the album that really got me into it, and things like that. And for sure, like, you know, like I said, my top one was Trip Lee, so I'm starting with that. It's just, you know, adding to it is like, yeah, I grew up in Texas, he grew up in Texas, a common denominator right there. And then just really liking this flow. Like, he doesn't change how he sounds, like, to try to like fit into any mainstream or any genre, things like that. However you want to categorize it, like, you know, I mean, I understand you gotta be creative, but then he's like creative in his own unique way, in my opinion. Like, I could tell that he's for real from the South, things like that, and flows with, like, even if he was being like a studio in ATL or California or New York or Florida, I believe that he would still be the same flow, cadence and things like that, and maybe a little different, but you'll still hear that foundation of his voice in there and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, some people just don't really lose their slang, their talk, how they announce things, and so much more, and et cetera, et cetera. And for sure, like, what I'm saying is, like, man, that's one thing that I for sure appreciate about him, and could tell that he be rapping with a passion, like he actually want to get a message across and things like that. And then going into the albums that I really enjoyed and liked and got from him that really intrigued me is, like I said, my first album I listened to him was 2020 Vision, and the song that, like, one of the top few songs that off the top of my head that I could think of that I really liked and got hooked on was a Superstar, and then Eyes Off Me. And then if you heard my last video last time, like, my dad, he was listening to that song, and he thought he was talking about his ASS off me, when I was like, no, he's saying get your eyes off me and things like that. And he was like, oh, okay. I was about to say, like, you know, and not wanting to hear that kind of music in that moment and things like that. But knowing that, you know, sometimes he might, sometimes he won't, but things like that. And then, so, like, that was my first album that I heard from him and that I really like and enjoy. And then the next one that I heard later on that he came up with was Rise, because, man, that was to me, that felt like very deep passion, like really trying to show, like, hey, and not just the black man, not just the white man, but every man and every woman, to make an impact in this world. Come on, let's rise up and do what we gotta do. Let's do what we're supposed to do so we can make a difference in this world. You know, and I like the comparison how he was talking about Martin Luther King and things like that, the Million Man March and things like that. It's just like, hey, you know, and not just rise up, but you gotta clean up yourself from the inside out, from your heart, your mind, and the cells and body inside of you. I mean, I'm going deeper into it. He didn't really say cells and body, but that's what I'm taking it as too. Like, you know, clean up your internal self, and after you clean up your internal self, rise up and then share it to the world and share your light to the world as you rise up and you fly high, soaring high, and, you know, you want to get things done. And he's talking about telling his story again, and how it got all started and things like that. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's so cool on how it just happened, in my opinion. Like, you know, it's just one thing to another, which shows a blueprint of the world. If you really want to do what you really want to do, you really gotta first, like I hear a lot of times, you know, build your own table and things like that. Like, you know, if you want to be in the media, you want to be in the sports, the music, cooking, whatever you want to do, you really got to put that work in, put that effort into it day in, day out, like building your own table, building your own media, building your own platform. And, you know, at least, or if you want to be in the cooking world or whatever, I mean, just having something established, like having some skill sets ready, your mindset ready, so that when opportunity comes, you're like, hey, I got this, this, and this, I'm ready to go. And then also you have a good work ethic, because in that beginning phase of of connecting with somebody, they're pulling their weight and they want you to pull your weight, otherwise it's not gonna work. So I mean, you gotta come with a good work ethic into it. Like, that's what I'm working on right now. It's like, hey, I really want to be steady and committed to this, even though I may not feel like it. I mean, that's the biggest thing I'm gonna say a lot of times in my videos is I really want to be committed before I keep branching out. And, you know, my plan is to be more consistent with what I do, get that done. And after I'm doing that, then just keep going, and then connect with great people that I know, and just sit down with them, talk with them, and just enjoy life, and then enjoy the fellowship with them and things like that. Especially because I'll be more confident and willing to do it than I just post one video and then, hey, you want to sit down with me and talk, and then maybe never post it or never edit, never take it serious, or post it and then never go to the next. I mean, it's just, so that's why I'm like, hey, I'm gonna rise up. And then he kind of does talk about health, and when he's talking about, you know, what he's going through with his own health, I'm not sure if he's still dealing with it now. I don't think so. I haven't really kept completely up with him. I see him here and there, but he's just talking about his health, how it was challenging him, but he just kept going, kept pushing, kept believing in God, and was still doing good, better than what he thought he would be doing. So I was just like, hey, you know, I'll rise up. Have your 2020 vision of where you want to go, have it align with the will of God, and then after that, then, you know, rise up and do what you got to do. And then the next one that I like, there's a more recent album, things like that, a few years back, was The End. How, you know, he really set it up to, like, you know, like things are getting to where he wants it to be more so. You know, he's still got challenges, he's still going through life, he's still doing what he got to do, but he's just making things happen a little bit here and a little bit at a time, and doing the best that he can. And then I like how it was like a cliffhanger album, like where it's like, is it the end of his, you know, career in the music industry? Which, you know, I understand, I get it. He's been in it a while, and he could if he really wanted to, but, you know, I would be a little heartbroken, a little sad, but, you know, it's just time for someone else for me to connect with, and just go from there, and then enjoy life and enjoy what you gotta do. So I mean, that's my top 3 albums that I really, really like, that I would have on my playlist a lot, you know, outside of what currently I'm doing, just listening to different music that's catching me, that I'm, you know, repeating and things like that. But down my foundation of that kind of music, yeah, it'll go definitely down to Triple E, and appreciate him. So anyways, thank you for your time. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm eating.